Okay, so what is going on, everybody? So, as you can see by the title here, why I won't be buying Life is Strange Remastered Collection. And before I get to that, I just want to say, this right here. Reason why I have not been streaming lately due to poor internet connection. The weather has been bad. Today the weather's been good, but I don't stream on Saturdays. But after this video goes up, I will stream for you guys, and hopefully my internet connection, because I do have Wi-Fi, but hopefully my internet connection right now, once I stream, will let me stream for quite a while, because I do want to make it up to you guys, and I do want to finish up Life is Strange 2. I do want to do that. I do. So, hopefully I can do that, but I do know, when it comes to streaming right now, with internet connection, with the PS4, and even having the internet cable plugged up to the PS4, hooked up to my laptop, with both devices being connected to my Wi-Fi box, sometimes it's a hit or miss. But with that being said, I do want to hop into the conversation on why I won't be buying Life is Strange Remastered Collection, or at least not buying it anytime soon. The reason for this is because I found out it's not remastered for Part 1. It's also going to be a remastered collection for Before the Storm. So it's going to be one case with 2 discs in it with 2 different games. Now, I know there's going to be different versions. You can have the physical. You're going to have 2 different digital downloads, but those 2 different digital downloads are probably going to come with something a bit extra that may not be needed. I don't really know how I feel about that, because the way the trailer, the way the teaser was presented, that it was going to be presented for Part 1 and not for Before the Storm. And I think I might be jumping the gun on this too soon. But, if it's going to be the same game, just, quote unquote, remastered or touched up, then I will save my money. The reason why I said I'll save my money is because they may not add anything new. They may not add anything new. And I talked about this in a previous video, what I would have liked to see in the remaster for Part 1. The way the trailer and the artwork was definitely presented and definitely teased to us, like we could be getting more to the game. You know what I'm saying? Just like Batman Return to Arkham. Like we got more deleted dialogue, definitely in Arkham Asylum for the PS4, just like we got added deleted dialogue and deleted scenes and Arkham City for the PS4, that really held both of those games together even more and just made them that more better. Again, I'm not taking anything away from the original releases, because original releases are good, and I did go back and play them. But the PS4 versions just brought a bit more, because they added things that they took out that they just couldn't fit into the original releases, and added the things that they took out into the re-releases. And hopefully, maybe we might get that with the Life is Strange Remastered. Like, for example, one thing I talked about, because they really showed Rachel Amber as if she was going to make an appearance in some way, shape, or form in Part 1 with the remastered, just like they showed the forest fire, and how it was presented like we could get Max going into another reality that may have not made it into the original release, and it would have went into the re-release of it, the remastered of it, to where she could have went into an alternate timeline, alternate reality, where she met Chloe again, and Rachel Amber, and she probably could have been with them that night the forest fire happened. We probably could have seen some different outcomes, and we even probably could have saw Max definitely intervened to where she's like, hey, like, you're a good person. Why are you treating Chloe like this? Why are you leaving Chloe for, you know, Frank Bowers, for all people? Frank, why are you leaving? Why are you messing around with him? We could have got Max, and definitely could have saw some events, definitely, that would have led up to Rachel Amber's death and disappearance, per se. Like Max could have actually solved some stuff, and probably could have saved that alternate timeline, that alternate reality of some sort, right? Kind of like how Trunks would in Dragon Ball Z travel through time, but because he did that, he created different realities in that timeline and made different events happen. Some good, some bad, depending on if you like the canon version, or, for example, the fan stuff that's done really well. We could have got something like that, or we could have seen something definitely, backfire on her. It was like, man, I may not be able to fix this, but in one reality, from what we got, we got several different timelines. We got the timeline where Chloe got into the car accident and paralyzed, and Max came back, and we set Chloe free, per se. And in one timeline, we got Max busting Jefferson and Prescott and still going to the Everyday Heroes contest, but yet Arcadia Bay still got destroyed. And in one timeline that they were definitely pointing at is that, yeah, Rachel Amber and Chloe definitely knew who Max were, because they were teasing that why Max was still, held captive. And maybe things probably didn't go good in that alternate timeline because of jealousy issues, like a love triangle. And in one timeline that they definitely showed, like, if we choose to sacrifice Arcadia Bay, Chloe still lives, but if we choose to sacrifice Chloe, Arcadia Bay still stands. So we definitely get different timelines that are considered canon realities, but because we have a female version of Trunks, something could usually go wrong, and we definitely saw that, just like the timeline where Max intervened to try to, save Chloe's father. We got different versions of stuff. So I think it would have been a great thing if they would have added some things that were took out of the original cut and put them in the remastered cut, because let's say the things that were took out were already done, but they just needed quote-unquote touch-up because there may have not been no room at the time for them on the original release, not like there can be room on them, now for the re-release. But I think that what we're just going to get is going to be the same games, just that the graphics are going to be touched up. Even when it comes to Before the Storm, again, to me, it is an unfinished game, because it is pointing towards that we could have switched characters during a certain point of the game to where we could have played as Rachel, and we would have gone through her journey of why she avoided Chloe, why she fell for Frank, the stuff that her and Frank got into, her actually making it to California, finding out why she came back in the first place, and then eventually what truly led up to her kidnapping and to her death. I feel like we would have been able to play through that as her, because it is considered unfinished to me, and the only way, again, for me to even be convinced to buy this, if they put out the full finished product of Before the Storm as the remaster. If I'm going to rebuy something, there has to be something new added to the game, not just bonuses, not just DLCs, no, but something within the main game itself that says, okay, this makes me want to rebuy it again. But until I see that, I'm not going to go out and buy the remastered version of Life is Strange, because again, I guess it's just my way of thinking. If you're going to re-release something in history, when it comes to video games and movies, TV shows that would have been re-released in physical formats, there will always be you know something new, something added to the product. When it comes to add and deleted dialogue with audio, or add and deleted scenes that would have filled in some answers and any forms of entertainment that said, oh, okay, now that makes me want to rebuy it. That makes sense now. If you take a look at Zack Snyder's Justice League, right? 4 hour long movie. Now, I don't have HBO Max, but I did hear that it's a good version of the Justice League movie because there's so much now added in that it holds it way, way more better. Now, I hope one day they may release it on physical format so I could watch it. Again, I don't have the money or even the fundings right now or access to even get HBO Max to watch, Zack Snyder's Justice League, but I hear it's good. I really hear that it's good because I remember when I went to the theaters to watch that, it was short. It was short, like it was already over with. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's this, until I see something new added to both of these games as re-releases, along with them being quote-unquote remastered, it has to be something new within both of the games that say, oh, okay, that makes me want to buy it because now that makes sense. Or it's like, wow, like that's new. We didn't see that before, and it's like, they should have left that in from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? They should have left some deleted gameplay in, some deleted cutscenes, some deleted dialogue in, that I hope they add into both of these games that will say, okay, that makes us, not just me, but also, fans of the franchise that want to go and rebuy those games during the re-releases. Because there has to be something new. It just can't be a nice packaged product. It's just like, hey, you get maybe some artwork in the game, 2 CD disc, and a booklet. No, there has to be more in the game itself that's going to be worth the money and worth the time playing through it. You just can't advertise bonuses or downloadable bonus DLCs for the digital ones, because then it's like, yeah, okay, it's still the same damn game. It may have added these extra DLCs or bonuses, but we're not getting nothing new. You know what I'm saying? It has to be worth it has to be worth the $60, $70, $80 price for all 3 versions of the game. It has to be worth $100 of our money, because if it's not, you're gonna have a lot of people that are going to be disappointed. You're going to have a lot of bad reviews, like, you guys didn't give us nothing new in all 3 formats. You may have given us some added on art, added on DLC, but it wasn't nothing new. We were still playing the same game, and there was nothing there new to hold our attention, So you do want a product that is going to make it stand out. You want to add more to it. Again, I hope they take note out of things that happened in the past, because, don't get me wrong, original releases of stuff, regardless if it's like TV shows, movies, or games, if they hold up and they're still loved, they're loved. But if you want to re-release those products, there's always been something added in to those forms of entertainment that made people, talk about the newer / re-release versions of those products and said, man, you really got to check out this version of it. There's so much more detail, right? And when people check it out, it gets talked about and it gets more praised, it gets more loved. But then you had some things in the past that were released just to be re-released that didn't hold anything new. And people's like, well, what was the point? We were expecting something new. We just wasted money. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to music, right? Like, for example, for a good while, we got a lot of, MJ releases with something new added to it each and every time. For example, we got some deleted skits, per se, some deleted songs from the original Thriller cut. We got the remix of Thriller back in 2008 when it came out, along with the DVD format that had Beat It, Thriller, Billie Jean, and Billie Jean, Motown 25 on there. And it also came with two different variant versions of the jacket. Like, you had the original, and then you had one with Michael in his Thriller jacket. Then you had Bad 25 that came with the full package product. With Prince, you had a lot of different variants, or a lot of, good re-releases of vinyls and CDs and music that really done good, So if you're going, again, to re-release something, you do want to add some stuff to it that makes it, again, not just worth $100 worth, but also makes it worth the consumer's time. And that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about with the re-release and remastered with Life Is Strange right now, is that it's just going to be a remaster and we're not going to get nothing new. I have a feeling that it may be something like that, and I hope I'm wrong, because, again, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to pay attention on YouTube when it comes out. And then I want to see for myself, through these playthroughs, is there something new added to each and every episode? I want to see unboxings. I want to hear the feedback. If it's good and I like what I see and there's something new added to it, okay, I'm going to go and spend $100. But if it's bad and nothing's new added to it, then I'm not going to spend $100, and I'm just going to keep my money where it's at, saved up. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be worth everybody's time. It has to be worth it. If it's not worth it, then it's just going to be a re-release, a remastered of the same game. And you're going to get bad feedback from that. You may have that majority of people, if that does happen, that may like it like that. But then you can have the big majority of people's like, man, they could have added so much more. Again, forms of entertainment have done this in the past. They've done good and they've done bad. I'm hoping for the re-releases of Life Is Strange 1 and Before the Storm / remastered, that there's going to be something new added into the games. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing, that I'm definitely worried about. For example, the PS4 version of GTA 5 had different cars in it than the 360 versions. It had more selections of guns in it than the 360 version. It had more different customization options than the 360 version. It did. We were supposed to get a GTA 5 zombie DLC storyline, but that never came to fruition. And when people heard about GTA 5 being re-released again for the PS5, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, you're not going to give us anything new along with that. Well, if they do, I can see them adding in more cars, more customizations, more weapon choices, and even if they wanted to, they could take the idea of the zombie DLC storyline that was originally supposed to be for the 360 version, work on that, bring that back, bring it up to date, and have it added onto its own game disc in the PS5 version. It'll be like, whoa, we actually did get something new along with this, because I guarantee you the fan base for that game is going to love that. I would love that, Now, eventually, if I do get bored when I do get a PS5, then yeah, I'll go get GTA 5 for the PS5. You know what I'm saying? And just see, what the difference is off screen per se. You know, just like with Red Dead Redemption 2 when they released that, with the PS5. You know, who knows? They could add in. I don't know how many type of horses there are, but they could add some in there. They could add in more clothes options, more customization to the clothes, more gun options, and they can even what can they add? They could probably add in some stuff that was took out of the original version, which was supposed to be sharks in the water, and us being able to go back to Guarma. We could get that because the re-release of that game would be on a bigger engine, which means you can have an even bigger map than before. Like, think about that. Like, we could go into Mexico and Guarma. You know what I'm saying? So there are things that can definitely be added to stuff like that. Just the little things that can make the whole difference in the world. But yeah, with that being said, not to drag this out too long, those are pretty much my reasons, why right now that I'm not going to be buying the re-release, remastered version of Life is Strange 2. Because if there's nothing new in there, then I'm just not going to go and spend my money because it'll be a waste of my time and money just like it would be for everybody else. So I think the best thing to do right now for me is just to really wait and see and watch. You know what I'm saying? And maybe for those that see this video might even agree with me. I mean, I don't know. But with that being said, I'm out. Peace.